Good afternoon, everybody. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Today I am in, we're in Chelsea. Where, if you don't know that, it's a really nice place in London. I'm here with Iman. Now, Iman is a digital marketer, social media marketing expert, and we're going to go through today basically how you can quit your job within 30 days or whatever day you decide that you want to quit it within. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure you give it a thumbs up, subscribe to both our channels if you're not already, and I hope you enjoy it. Okay guys, so the first thing we are going to be looking at today is, I think a lot of people talk about this all the time, a lot of entrepreneurs online talk about it, and that is mindset. But what I'm getting onto is not like you've got to think towards you want to be successful and you've got to picture yourself being successful. The sort of mindset that like we've been talking about today is actually deciding what you're going to do and how you're going to do it and setting goals. So for me, the way I did this, if you guys don't know my story, if you're a new subscriber, or of course we're watching on Iman's channel, then for me, I've always been into entrepreneurship, like ever since I was very young, but I had a turning point where I went on holiday for a couple of weeks and really, I guess, got to understand what I wanted, right? And I really wanted to set up an online business. And I've tried this in the past. I wasn't too successful, but I decided, right, when I get back, I'm starting a YouTube channel and I'm gonna take this course on how to do fulfillment by Amazon, and I'm gonna just go like all in, right, all into it. That decision was the most important mindset the mindset decision I made, because everything came from that. I know you have a little story which I think is quite decent as well.
So obviously the title of this video is how to quit your job in 30 days. Now if you are watching on Jonny's channel, or you're a new subscriber here, obviously my story is a bit different. I'm 17 years old and my story was that of dropping out of high school. Now I actually had a video shoot with Bang & Olufsen in Amsterdam. My business mentor, he kind of set that up for me. So I'm sitting on the plane back from Amsterdam, and it had been the first time I traveled in like a year and a half, simply because I couldn't afford to before. And number two, is the first time I was actually paid to travel and then paid for the shoot. So it was just like a super proud moment for me. So I sat on that plane, on that window seat, I looked out and I made the decision that, look, if I can figure out what my overhead is, including rent, because I wasn't paying rent at the time, including rent, and I can get 4 times that in either lump sum, deposit, or written contract, and I can do that in 8 weeks, then I would drop out of high school, and I did in 2.5.
That's crazy. I think because my mindset was a little bit different, because I was working the 9 to 5, I had been for a few years, I was leaving the house about 7 AM, getting back about 8 or 9 PM. So when you think about your work-life balance, well, there wasn't a work-life balance, so I was heavily driven to get out of that. So I didn't need to make 4 times, 4 times the amount that I needed to live, right? I wanted to earn the same or less, like, because if I could earn less, I wasn't on a bad wage or anything, I could live on less money. So I worked out what my minimum outgoings were, or what I needed to survive. And as soon as I made that money, I was like, right, I'm going to quit my job, because the time that you have is more important than the money you can make sometimes. Because I was doing 12-13 hours out of the house, that was 12-13 hours a day I got back for. And I could earn, the same amount of money. But of course, once you then quit your job, or you dedicate your time to full-time entrepreneurship or digital marketing, you then have the entire day to work on your own business, which means that, hey, you're not earning the minimum amount anymore. You can earn way more.
And that's a big key here. I see so many people going down the route of follow your dreams, which is correct. But you're following your dreams, and then, look, it's very hard to follow your dreams when you're fucking like working as a barista or working in an insurance company, and you're doing like this shit for 10 hours, and you come home and you're filled with cortisol, your willpower is completely drained. Like, do you really think you're gonna study a course, or are you gonna fucking like order McDelivery and watch like Suits? Like, you need to be practical here. So one thing that you did so well was you decided, look, like maybe this might take a month, maybe this might take 2 months of hell, of clawing myself out of this. Once I claw myself out of this, then I have infinite upside. There's no ceiling on the amount of energy I have, the amount of money I can make. So that is a big key.
Exactly. So I think the first thing you've got to do, if you want to be able to quit your job, you can do it within 30 days. I could have done it within 30 days. In hindsight, I should have, but I didn't know that at the time. that you need to set your goal of what you want. So for you, your goal was earn 4 times the amount of
predicted overhead with rent.
Yeah. Mine was earn enough that I don't have to go to work anymore. And then you just got to work hard to get it. So to give you guys an example, I wanted the quick, I wanted to get out of there quick. I could have done it in 6 months, but I decided that I wanted to do it as soon as possible. I set a goal of September. So this was the end of April, the 1st of May, let's say. I said by September I want to have quit my job, and that was my goal that I set. Obviously, it happened a lot quicker, but the only reason is because as soon as I was getting home from work, on my commute home, I was reading, studying, watching YouTube videos, reaching out to people, doing everything I could that was business related or self-development related. And then when I got home, I was working, I was doing YouTube videos, I was creating content until, replying to people up until midnight, going to sleep for 5 hours and getting up for work again the next day, and just rinse and repeat. And I did that for about 6 weeks, full on. But that meant I could quit my job within. I could have quit it earlier, to be honest, but I quit within 2 months, literally to the day of 2 months of starting my YouTube channel. And obviously the first 2 weeks is just like nothing, no one watches it. And that was how many months ago? I don't know, 3 months ago, or something like that. So the last 3 months, let's say, I don't know what it is, I've had the entirety of time to then work on your own income. That is more powerful than anything. If you want to be able to quit your job within 30 days, 60 days, whatever you decide your timeline to be, then the first thing you're going to need to do is decide to do it. Now, that's not just saying like, oh, I'm going to go and make a digital marketing agency. It's a case of, I'm going to do it starting today or starting tomorrow, not, oh, I'm going to wait until I get a new computer to start. I'm going to wait until I, get my hair cut to start. It's no, you start today, and every single day you work on making it better than the last day.
And then you get to the point of practicality. Like, once again, like if you want to quit your job in 30 days, in fact, you could do it tomorrow, but you would also be homeless. Figure out what the practicality is. Like so many people with me, for example, they're like, so it's so awesome, you just decided to take the leap of faith and drop out of high school. And I'm like, no, it was a calculated as fuck move. Like I knew, like to the dot, what I needed, how long I could survive, what would my runoff be. Say I did drop out of school, and I thought I had it because I was still making a good income while I was in school, but like you, I was sleeping 3-4 hours a day. I couldn't go to certain meetings because I had classes. I had meetings abroad that I couldn't make because I had class. So like, I figured out what the practicality was. Like following your dreams is this beautiful thing, and creating this lifestyle that you want is this beautiful thing, but it has to be matched with practicality.
Totally, I agree with that. So I think we should go on to. Actually, okay, now you've got your mindset right, we're all good with that, you're going to take massive action because that's the only way to get massive results. Like then what's your vehicle? What's going to get you from where you are now to where you want to be? So I think we're on the same wavelength here. It's social media.
Digital marketing, social media. Now obviously that is such a huge umbrella. So, I mean, let's start off with what...
Okay, so for me, the only thing I use more now, the only thing I started with is YouTube. YouTube, I think, is the most powerful platform out there if you want to set your own personal brand. If you're getting into digital marketing, I personally feel that you need to have... We don't need to, but you'll get results far quicker and for less money and a lot easier if you have a social media presence, if you have a YouTube, if you have Instagram. Like my main source of income has been through YouTube. Yours is a little bit different. So yours is like, I'm interested when you tell your story, it's an interesting one. But of course mine was for YouTube. Get yourself on YouTube, document what you're doing. Get yourself on Instagram, document what you're doing, do it on Facebook. But from that, you're then going to be able to teach other people what you're doing. People are going to follow you because they're interested and they want to learn. You always want to look at people that are 30% in front of you, or you want to spend 30% of your time with people that are ahead of you so that you can learn from. You want 30% of the people on the same wavelength so you can network with them and kind of help each other out, and then 30% of the people you want to be helping them. And the best way to do that is with social media. And of course through that you can monetize it like crazy.
So you went down the route of like, I mean, there's so many different options. Like, there's so many different options. Like, I see so many people in like scarcity mindset. Like just look online. There's so many fucking ways to make money. You obviously you understood your personality. You had a lot of self-awareness, and you understood like what's your ideal lifestyle, and you chose 2 vehicles to kind of get you there. To start with.
Exactly. Yeah. So I wanted. Now this is probably going to be similar for most people. That if you're working a 9 to 5 job or whatever, 9 to 8, whatever job you work in, I couldn't dedicate all my time to doing something like social media marketing. I wanted to because I saw the benefit in it, but I did not have the time to be able to do it. So instead, I decided that I wanted to look at passive income sources, which was Amazon FBA, and then affiliate marketing, which I kind of stumbled into through YouTube. So that means that worked with my lifestyle when I was working, but then when I quit my job, I still had the same income that was passive that I could have been doing while I was at work, but then had all the time to be able to focus on personal branding, which does take up more time, social media marketing, which I then set up when I quit. But now, like I can wake up not even in the morning, in the afternoon. And don't have to be anywhere.
Check your phone. You got Stripe, PayPal, commission.
Yeah.
Like,
and it does happen like that. I'll have days where I wake up and I earn nothing, but I'll have days when I wake up and there's $400 or $500 just kind of sitting there while I slept
overnight. Yeah.
Which is that's how I set up my business and how I set up my I guess my ecosystem of my company, my companies. That's not going to be for everyone, but that was my decision to do it that way. But now there's more time in the day, then I can focus on things that do take up more time. And I know you were a little bit different.
Yeah. So for example, the way I went about it is like, I mean, back when I was like 3 years ago, back when I was 14, I stumbled across influencer marketing, and I used to like flip Instagram accounts. So like I've always seen like the money in social media and sort of merit to it. But with me, I had a social media and I built it up. I think I had like 20K followers, only like a K YouTube subscribers. But like people kind of like saw me as someone who understood social media. So I actually started getting a lot of inbound leads. And I got a lot of people actually asking like, dude, like, could you do a bit of consulting, or could you even manage my social media companies? Could you manage my social media? Could you grow my social media? So I, out of nowhere, started getting like these inbound leads. And also like the one good thing I've done, and especially now that like I'm monetizing my personal brand, like there have been people who have been following me for 2 years, and they're like, Iman, like a year and a half ago, like I asked a question, you gave me your phone number, and then you called me to answer my question for 30 minutes, right? And all these relationships like come back. So I would give people free advice on social media and stuff like that. And like, so I started kind of being known as this kind of like figure for social media, or at least in my small bubble. So yeah, I started getting these inbound leads for these companies, and then I kind of specialized in really high ticket clients here in London, like just really, really fucking cool companies. So started snowballing. So what I found was my personal brand helped with get inbound leads for my business, and the more my business grew, the more authority I had with my personal brand. So it's really cool. Like I've had people following me for a year who have literally been like your story isn't bullshit. Like I've actually watched you go from broke, because I've been following you for a year, like to where you're at now, and like they've seen that. So that's all because personal brand, and the power of that, led to inbound leads for my business, and then the more inbound leads I have with my business, more authority I have with my personal brand, and then now I've started getting into coaching, teaching other people how to do this. I have a couple digital products, and then now I'm getting into affiliate marketing, and I'm looking at more passive sources of income, just because like obviously you want to diversify your income streams. And I mean, like, if I'm honest, every single time I hear Jonny like tell me stories about how he wakes up and then he's just like looks down and it's just like commission, I'm just like, I want that.
That's the key. I think the thing that if you are watching and you're like most people saying, I don't want to record video, I don't want to put myself out there. Like, if you look back a few months, like all that sort of stuff, everyone that does YouTube, everyone that goes live on Instagram, everyone that has a personal brand, they're not good at it straight away.
Oh no. 100%.
And it's something that you have to build up. It's like anything, the more practice you get, the better you're going to get at it, the better you're going to get and more comfortable to talking to a camera, which is one of the weird things when you start. But now it's just like it's cool. It's just there. It's just got a little fluffy kind of like microphone thing. It's cool. It's because it is, at the end of the day, we know that
we know there's people. I mean, and for example, like that showed, considering like a month ago at this point, I think we had a meetup. Yeah. And we announced it like 4 days before. It was like super impromptu, like just for whatever reason we decided to do a meetup. Yeah. 28 people showed up. Like that was real to us. So anyways, I think like no matter what vehicle you choose, like I think that the catalyst for all that was the personal brand and putting yourself out there. And I think
that's so important. That's the one thing I think anyone should take away. If you want to get results like quicker and easier than any way else, the way is personal brands.
Yeah, because that's something no one can ever take that away from you. Yeah, like people can take away your, you can a client could drop or an Amazon product could fail, but like if you have that personal brand and that attention, you can always make the money back, whether that be more inbound leads for your social media marketing agency, whether that be more people helping you out with your new next Amazon product, like whatever it may be. Like I think that's been the main takeaway.
Yeah.
And
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, you know, as for how you quit your job in 30 days, you make the decision, you pick a vehicle, and then you got to start putting yourself out there.
Cool, guys. So that's going to be it for today. What I'd like you to do, though, is just go into the description for the video, check out Iman's channel. I'm going to put his YouTube and his Instagram profile there. What I would highly recommend, if you're interested in this sort of stuff, in personal branding, in particularly social media marketing, check out his YouTube because there's loads of videos on there, but in particular the Instagram, because you're doing daily stuff on your Instagram, and if you want to learn how to do it well, then just see what Iman does and just copy what he's doing. that's pretty much actually what I do. So just copy what he's doing. But yeah, check out those links, make sure you subscribe, and of course subscribe to me if you're not subscribed to me, if you're watching this just somehow, I don't know how.
Alright, see you guys.
See you guys, bye!